I'd like to start by, oh. All right, we'll wait till the radio shut off.
Alexa off.
Oh. Alexa off, all right. It's in the agenda to, new business to welcome our new members, but that should probably happen first. So welcome to our new members, Lou and Jack. It's very nice to have you aboard. You don't always have to sit together on the men's side.
Well, we got Jim coming over next meeting.
Yeah, Jane said we should make a new rule that it has to be man, woman, man, woman. But I don't know.
It won't help.
At work right now, we're dramatically outnumbered. You know, and we gotta stick together as guys, that's what it is. And I have permission from Randy to say that.
Oh, there we go. So, these aren't really announcements, but I have some correspondence that I'd like to share with you. This first one is from Judy Targo. Sorry, that's her name. Dear Council on Aging, I would like to thank each and every one of you for my last day. It has been a pleasure being on the council. I've enjoyed meeting and working with such wonderful people. Thank you for all the wonderful gifts. Keep up the special work, Judy Targo. She's a card. And I have a thank you from Pete Lincoln. On behalf of Judy Targo and myself, we thank the COA for the generous and warm send-off at our last meeting in June. We are proud of our 4 decades of service that's combined to the senior center. Why does one join the COA? Not for a Friday paycheck, and certainly not for public kudos, but rather for a deep concern for the health and welfare of our Lunenburg seniors. The center provides varied and interesting activities for our more able seniors, but it is paramount that we focus on the eldest, the physically or mentally impaired, as they are our most needy. They depend on us. Miss you all. Continue to make the Lunenburg Adult Activity Center a gem of the town. Much love and respect to you all. And he would have loved to have been here today, but we had a little bump in the road. He was supposed to have his shoulder surgery tomorrow, and it mysteriously had postponed it till the end of the month with no given reason. So he's not doing well. So, do we have any public comment from our tumultuous public? Seeing none, we will move on to board comment, and I have some board comment. I was in touch with Helen, and she was in the hospital for 3 weeks.
Oh.
She was in rehab for 3 weeks. She's been home for about 4 or 5 days, and she's doing better. She wants to come back to the council as soon as she is able, so that's really good news because she's a wonderful member. And I asked her if there was anything we could do to help her, and she said at some point she might need rides. So I thought maybe if it was okay with the office that we could coordinate some ride help if she needs it. We could let her know our availability, and I told her if it was okay, she could contact the front desk and we could let her know our availability. So if that's okay with all of you, we should help her out if we could.
If not, we could pick her up too. She's not very far away.
Right.
That's what
I mean,
she
so
said.
yeah, no, for
It must be zoned out.
appointments, for
Oh,
her
for
appointments,
appointments.
for her appointments. Right now, her son is with her, but we don't know how long it's going to last. And there are other people that have said they would help her out, but I wanted us to help if we could.
Also, Deb, just for her and any other senior in town, the van is handicap accessible, so you don't have to go upstairs. You can just go up the lift and just sit down. So sometimes it's hard to get in and out of cars. So the van is available for anyone in
Right.
town.
Right, but, you know, in case
Yes.
it wasn't available, I wanted her to know that we would be here for
Yeah,
her, so.
absolutely.
Thank you. Okay, so is there any other board comment? Jack?
If it's okay, it's exactly the right time. We've had a couple of events in the last month or so. Margaret Scarsdale has initiated an ambassador program. I've been asked to be a member. I participated in the first get-together meeting, and the way I'm looking at it is Margaret has just now moved over, and she's now in the Ways and Means Committee, Utilities and the Environment. Ways and Means means money a little bit.
Yes.
Yeah. money. Utilities, we to buy Unitil if we can, and then the environment. So anyway, we now have, via this group of almost a dozen people, the ability to take the concerns that this group has and put them into more of a formal environment. You may have one already, and I know she comes here once a month and stuff, but we be able to, if this group is thinking about something and maybe it wants to get discussed, we can bring that into that group via, I can call Margaret directly. So that's a little something. And the other part is kind of an exciting thing, talking about the deferral program, the 41A, meaning that, you know, if you can't pay your taxes, well, you're not going to lose the house anymore, provided you meet some pretty basic and wide open requirements. We've had a candidate we've been shepherding through, and this is one of the tougher ones because it has a bank involved. You know, no bank likes to take a second position on anything, especially a big bank. When the first response was, well, we don't do that. And after some prodding, and I want to give the people, the citizens that are going to be recipients of this thing some credits, because they put a lot of effort into it as well. Anyway, a couple of weeks ago, the bank said, well, okay. And they sent us a bill. We finally exchanged all the paperwork. We got it back. Everything's been notarized. It's going to the Board of Assessors at 2 o'clock today. And hopefully they approve this one, and we've got our first case study success. And then we can, there's still some mapping out. So it goes, still has to go on inside the town, but we'll be able to launch this thing in some sort of a decent volume. So we'll tell you more the next meeting. That's me. That's my comments.
Congratulations, that's
Now,
wonderful
let's
news.
bring what else can go on.
May I make a comment? Please.
You know, this is no small feat, what you're doing. I think this is the right group for you to be doing,
Yeah.
so I just want to say thank you, and it's fantastic that, you know, you guys have been pushing for that, because, you know, the town, the deferral program, the town does not lose any money. In fact, we actually earn, there's an interest associated, which is about the same thing as our bond rate currently.
Yeah.
And it's actually a good rate if you are borrowing money also for the citizens, so it's beautiful. It's a great way. It does not affect the town's books at all. And our means is being deferred until the property is sold or it goes into a state. So it's wonderful. So I just want to say thank you for your advocacy. And I love that you're here in this group now.
I do too. I do too. That was part of the overall strategy here too, was to somehow tie in really well with the board, with the town. And that's one of the reasons I'm here. Of course, Jane told me I had to do it. It's been part of our master plan all along. So,
Thank you, Jenny.
Oh, you're very welcome.
Thank you very much for the recommendation.
Oh, definitely.
So as far as your first comment about Margaret Scarsdale and the Unitil situation and that, how does the board feel about putting together something that would address Unitil? Did you say we could buy Unitil?
Oh, no, I'm something, that was
Did you
loose.
say
Something
that?
I want to get away from. We want to get away from it. I don't think we can buy it.
I was gonna say, what was that? But maybe putting together something to address the concerns of our citizens, our senior citizens. Maybe for the next meeting, put together some concerns and then addressing it formally as a board. How do you feel about that? I think we should. It's the cost is, the electric bills are insane, especially during the summer when you're, well, it's in the winter as well, right? And
Yeah.
heating bills,
Yeah.
they're just horrendous, and I don't see them going down.
Yeah, and I think the
the select board absolutely can consider signing on to a letter too, if we want to do it together.
Yes, that would be great. All right, so come up with some concerns and how we want to address them for the next meeting.
And is it okay to share that the board is looking at in this meeting and they're coming up tonight?
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
please
yeah.
do. Yes, please do. I just lost my pen, but I think for the next meeting, you're going to need your silver. No, I don't want to. Thank you, thank you. There's always about 10 things here. Yep, here we go. All right, so thank you for that. That's great.
No, thank you for this board.
All right.
This board's got muscle. Remember, we have about 40% of the voting population in our age group, and they're all getting slammed. They really are.
Speaking of that, did we have people come here for a cooling center? I don't know.
We had people that came here to be here for programs and that, but there was very few that came in specifically for cooling center.
Well, I guess that's good news
Yeah.
in a way, that we didn't have people that were boiling over. So that's good, yes. All right. Any other board comment? All right, did you all get your minutes? And have a chance to look at them?
Can we get a minutes? Can we get a mailing list? You just saved me by $100.
Did they come from the
No,
Yeah,
They came from Michelle.
and they were sent out before you were
Oh,
on
yeah.
board.
Yeah.
So you will be on the mailing list going forward.
Okay, so I think for these minutes, you weren't there, but you should have that. You can't vote on that.
I hear about it all the time.
All right, so do I hear a motion for approval? So, second?
Second.
Any comments on them? All right, all those in favor? Aye. Those opposed? All right, so next time you will receive them. Well, our new business is about welcoming our new members, which we've already done, but that should have been front and center. Thank you for being here. Congratulations on being here.
Thanks for having us.
We're very pleased that you're,
That's it?
we are very pleased that you're on board.
Thank you.
All
Pleased
right. Building permits for seniors.
Thank you. So what I would like to do, I love ideas and I love large group discussions, believe it or not. So the overall premise is to create parameters where the town can offer building permits for free for seniors that qualify. And I want to, our direction as to what do we think that qualification should be. You know, is it simply someone over X age, or, you know, what it is. The other thing is, so I want to get, in short, I want to get this group feedback into ideas of how we define this, and then I will put a one-pager together based on this discussion that I'll bring it back. I'm going to have my friend Lou help me with that. I'll bring it back and we'll discuss if that's where we want to propose, and then we'll engage the select board on, you know, taking a look at it. Once we have this defined and one page approved based on what we'd like to propose, I will run it by the building commissioner as well, because he has great feedback. In my first conversation with him, he did say this is not unprecedented. It has happened in different communities. That's, he's seen it. So it is a real thing. My overall, my base idea was we would pick an age, you know, seniors over 60, over 65, over 70, and it can just be, I don't think we need to go into as much details as a tax deferral program that you get a file for a circuit breaker or whatever. Because my fear is, even if a senior has some means where they're doing some repair and maintenance on their house, they may still want to skip the building permit to be cheaper. You know, because it's good to be frugal. And I want to take that away because building permits, in fact, they're a protection to the homeowner. if you hire a contractor and you pay them, and they don't deliver the product, the service, there is actually a fund in Massachusetts that will refund you. Their license get, tagged with that, and it becomes more problematic. So there is an incentive for any contractor who applies, who gets a building permit to deliver the job. So it is more of a protection, but that is that hurdle. The other thought that I had as a parameter is, the idea here is to just create some, for repair and maintenance of a house, of your dwelling. So I thought of, $10,000, any building permit that the service, the total contract is under $10,000, seniors would qualify for free. And, in simple things as a replacement of windows, which it can easily go into $3,000 to $5,000 for, less than a handful of windows. Those need a building permit, and that is a perfect example of something that usually contractors come to you and ask for a deposit in order to order those windows, and it's easily never delivered, right? So there is a lot of things that seniors are at risk, and a lot of times we think of getting building permits as more expensive, our taxes are gonna go up. With the $10,000 repair, the value of your house is not gonna be changed that much. So those are the overall parameters, but I did want to get feedback of the group. What else should I be thinking about it as I draft that one pager? Yes?
That is a really good idea, because people that I've known and met with very recently, they're not sure of what does the whole process look like. Some go around town, and they go, I don't really want to. They're hesitant with that. They're hesitant with regard to even basically knowing what you can do. Can I go and put a shed on my property? Or what about the whole issue of the ADUs? Can I bypass the permit? I mean, there's hundreds of questions out there, so this would be perfect. And if this council on aging can act as a source, and, a source that doesn't represent anything potentially bad happening, then that's a great idea. That really is. That's going to help a lot.
Yeah. I know. And with that, I'll add that the building inspector, he's a great guy. Lindbergh's building inspector, he's a writer. And whenever I talk with him, he thinks about so many other things beyond just what I'm asking. So he's actually a great resource for seniors on how to do things, what to do. And I remember talking about, replacing boilers, replacing windows. And he's like, well, actually, if you're gonna replace windows, you can get pretty much windows for free and installation for free if you follow this program. So if a senior is looking to get certain things done, and they reach out, hey, I need to get a permit, he might be able to help them even further. So creating that relationship in a positive light, I think we only stand to gain.
Right?
A couple quick questions. Do you have data on approximately how many permits in total are applied for annually?
I don't, but that is one of the things I thought I would need to ask, because I'm sure the select board and everyone else is going to be, how much revenue are we going to actually lose?
Yes. You got to ask the fun stuff. This is
Oh,
part of the procedure.
Yeah.
Coming off the select board. And what is a building permit cost these days?
So
Does it
it's-
vary depending on the?
It does vary. The standard cost is $10 per 1,000 in construction value.
Oh.
So if you have to pay $10,000, then the actual fee is going to be $100. And there's a $60 minimum.
$60.
So it's not that hefty of a fee.
Yeah, my main thought is not necessarily the fee. I think
Sure.
it's the protection to the seniors that
Yeah.
I'm actually looking forward to the
I
most.
get it, and that's an interesting perspective. I guess I'm interested in knowing more about what you said earlier about how people may not actually be applying for permits and
Oh,
how
that's-
this could potentially help. Maybe, but
I mean, elaborate on that.
you said that, so.
Yeah, I did,
Yeah.
because of the building permit,
Right,
when you, usually you have an owner can, a homeowner can take a building permit
Yep.
or a contractor.
Mhm.
So if you ask the contractor to take the building permit and they don't finish the job, that building permit stays open. And they can actually have, you can file a complaint, and Massachusetts has a fund
Mhm.
that if a contractor does not deliver the job and you have to pay them, that fund will reimburse the homeowner. And that contractor will then get tagged and they will have issues with their license. And that's a fund that exists, that it's paid, I don't know how they raise those revenues, but it is a protection. So taking a building permit and someone not finishing the job, you actually have recourses against them.
So is your idea that this would be means tested, or would you have a preference for just anyone over the age of 65?
I want to simplify because this is, I don't see this, unlike with the tax thing that Jack is doing, he's trying to help seniors in need.
Right.
My thought is protecting seniors on, things that might be prone to happen. That's the main goal, is to really take away the stigma of getting a permit and really educate everyone about the value of the
But
permit.
do you think that's the cost, the actual fee, or maybe a lack of awareness on what qualifies for needing a permit, what the process is?
And that's where we will be able to deliver both things at once. You create a program that it's, hopefully it's not going to be costly to the town, because we pay our building inspectors, he's already on the salary, so there's no extra cost. But it allows us to start having that conversation with seniors, because getting people in to have those conversations that are sometimes uncomfortable, people are not sure what it is how you start educating people.
Maybe.
What is the feedback of the group?
I have a comment.
Go ahead.
The other, important need with the building permit is to make accommodations for people that all of a sudden, need railings and, you can make those, or you can get those bathtubs done with a country bathtub and stuff. But, they're, so building permits, but to go even a little further, it'd be nice to have a list of contractors that do like small jobs that we could have available for, seniors to pick from that we know are pretty good.
I remember talking with Adam Burney. There's probably a way for us to do that, and I made notes. Sometimes as a public body, we have to be cautious about making recommendations to private contractors, to anyone. I don't remember exactly, but there's definitely, here, we have a newspaper that has ads to different businesses. So there's definitely a way that as part of this education program that I think we might be able to deliver something of that nature, and I can work on that. Because at the end, my goal is once this is approved, we start creating a program of educating the seniors, and that was the second phase to it. Kind of like what Jack did with the taxes, right? A lot of these programs, but some of the things that you have done while in the Board of Assessors was educate people about what's available. And just by engaging in that conversation. So once we get this information, then educating seniors, having a program here of what is a building permit, how do you do it, having Brian bring us come and do a quick presentation, answer questions. You're just really trying to engage seniors and help them. And that is the ultimate goal. It's not necessarily $100 fee that I think is the biggest thing, is the protections, the education. Just as, I learned that you can get pretty much, your house insulated and just by helping Brian. And I think that would be wonderful for our seniors to understand that. But you gotta have a hub to get them in. Few free building permits. But that's a great note, Jane, I noted. So any other thought, like what would be this group's suggestion for age? If we were making a proposal, is it 60, is it 65, is it 50? installed my own.
About 57 and 9 months.
I'm gonna compliment your birthday.
If I could make a suggestion that perhaps the building inspector's already made a list of other, or has available a list of others, towns that have done it. We go look at what they're saying, benchmark them, and then we have a meeting and benchmark, so when we go to town meeting, to say.
I don't think it has to go to town meeting, but I know Attleboro has one for 65 and over.
Yeah.
I don't see that.
I think 65.
Yeah.
65 is
Oh,
the
that's
range.
it.
And you definitely should put a limit on the amount of the building permit.
Right, and I thought of 10,000, but do we have any other
I
feedback?
had no idea how much a building permit cost, and when we did our reservation, I was in shell shock when I found out how much
Right,
our building permit cost. And it was just ignorance, but it's amazing, you
Right.
don't realize.
Yeah.
But the town can't afford to give up the kind of money we paid for a building permit.
right, and that's why, the idea is really just repairs and maintenance.
Right.
Yeah.
And because if somebody is doing a $300,000 piece of work, of course, they probably don't have the need.
Exactly,
I
exactly.
can tell you, we're doing a shed. We've already gotten all kinds of other approvals, so I called to find out there are limits, like a shed, not all sheds need a building permit.
Right,
So it's like, they're very helpful if you call, they give you all the parameters.
right. And that's what I really want to help is, help people understand that our building inspector is actually an ally for us. And you get on that education
Yes,
process.
they're not just out to ding you if you don't do it right, they're out to help you to do it right.
Exactly.
Which is good to know.
Just wait for the assessors to ding.
But that's the thing, a $10,000 repair and maintenance, and I picked 10,000 just because, I was thinking of like small window, replacing some windows, replacing some dry rot and some part of your trim, like smaller things that is more repair and maintenance. And I thought of 10,000 as a limit, with the cost of the overall.
You'd be surprised how fast 10,000 goes.
Right.
I would talk to some contractors to find out what that amount is, because it's probably gonna be a lot more. A lot of people, oh gee, my front steps look like they're falling apart a little bit, we need to get a building permit, and $10,000 is not gonna go far. You only get a couple of steps, you may not get much more than that.
Okay.
So we need to look at the amount.
Okay,
That's
so I'll add into how many building permits of 10,000, I'll add to, so then we can get an idea.
Construction value limit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
Right, and does this include landscape changes or driveways, and she just mentioned steps, that's something that we repair.
So I think these are great questions, and I'm gonna add here, list of repairs that need permits.
Yes.
Because I think a lot of times, the contractors, they give you a quote, but they know what they can do without getting caught or not getting a permit. So educating what triggers a permit and what it doesn't. The list of repairs that triggers, because I actually don't know about repaving if you need a permit or not. I know you would if it's near a wetland, but not simply, so.
Yeah, some of the guys of repairs, big potholes,
Right.
tripping and stuff like that.
Yeah, no, that's a great thought.
So,
I don't know.
I don't know either, but
It's a brick.
Yeah. See why these discussions are important? Thank you. Any other thoughts?
I mean, considering I'm being drafted to do this by you, I think it's a great idea.
By the way, you were gonna help even if you didn't join us. I'm glad you're here. Okay. Okay, that's great. If anyone has any other thought that you think it should be added into these considerations, just send me an email or call. And I'll go ahead.
I'm sorry.
No.
Why do we why do we think it doesn't need to be a town meeting? Is it 'cause-
So for our bylaw, the fee schedule is established and maintained by the select board, and there's nothing prohibitive or restrictive in either the bylaw or the state building code that would prevent the select board from doing something like
Because
this.
you can completely waive fees if you wanted to, even as a select. Right.
Okay,
Actually, should we not?
all right, well, thank you. Thank you, that's a great idea. All right, speaking of which, can we ask Michelle to get a new board member contact list? Since we should be all be able to get in touch with each other in our 2 minutes. Thank you. Okay, the kiosks. So Pauline did an amazing mock-up of our 3 panels for the kiosk, and then we got some bad news about our kitchen staff. So, we have none at the moment.
None?
Anne injured herself, and Pam's surgery had to be redone. So this amazing staff that we have has been taking over all of the kitchen duties with some volunteer help, but Deb and Pauline and Michelle have been taking over all of the kitchen duties. So kudos to them, they have done a real nice job.
Keep the meeting shorter, there won't be lunch today.
So I can't even imagine what it's been like for the 3 of them. They've had some help, but there's something later on about kitchen volunteers if anybody wants to step up, but that's a later entry. So I'm holding off on getting that over to some people to have that printed out for up front because we want to put the kitchen staff on it. But Colleen did an incredible job. It's just creative and beautiful, and I can't thank her enough. It was an amazing thing. We decided to hold off on putting it out because we wanted to put the whole staff on the kiosk. But if you want to see it, Colleen has it. It's just amazing. So we'll get that up as soon as we sort of figure out what's going on with the staff. Unless people think we should put it up without the kitchen staff. I don't know how you feel about that. I would like to.
You could do the 2 sides.
We could do 2 sides.
That would be a good idea.
All right. So I'll get the 2 sides done. All right. Yeah. I just wanted to run it by everybody. I feel we could do the 2 sides, but I hate not to have our staff up there. Because they're kind of the most important people. All right.
We can count the one here.
All right, I'll get the 2 sides done. We'll wait for the kitchen staff. And I'll get the 2 sides done. Pauline did an amazing job, so I want to thank her for that. And that comes into the kitchen staff. So,
We are starting tomorrow interviewing for temporary positions. So there is one permanent 9-hour position. But there's so many variables right now that we've just got to keep things temporary for now until we figure out what's happening.
Pam did have her surgery. So that's good news. And apparently went well. They both want to come back, so hopefully they will heal quickly. All right, on to current business. This is not a financial report month, so we'll skip that unless you have something to tell us that's wonderful that you just won the lottery and we have $1 million to
No,
spend.
but it's after July 1st, so everything got put back in. Our funds are there again, so we can spend them now.
All right, great. The senior advisory team is hoping for a presentation in September, I believe, and so you'll let us know about that when you get that in mind. Does anybody know any updates on the local hospital services? I have not heard of any.
No, I haven't.
Okay.
Find out tonight. And I'll communicate that to you so you can help.
Okay, great, thank you. So, as you heard, our staff is being very overtaxed now, so if any of you would consider volunteering in the kitchen, I'm sure it would be very much appreciated. So, let us.
We do have a calendar, there's a calendar up on the wall, so you can just write your name in, days you're available. So we're looking for 2 volunteers on Tuesday and 2 on Thursday, and then 1 on Wednesday, except for the second Wednesday, which is the Lions Club breakfast. So, I'm very grateful for the Lions
Where's
Club.
the calendar?
It's hanging up in the Meals on Wheels room,
Okay.
right by the sink.
Okay.
So Jack was considering volunteering, but all I can do is the dishes.
I'll take a barbecue, she won't let me get a stove.
Somebody has to do the dishes.
I did them in elementary school and in college, so.
All right, so, anyway, thank you. And do we have any news on the Lulu lift or the elevator?
The building inspector did come here along with the facilities director, and I talked to the facilities director yesterday. He's still waiting for a report from the building inspector.
Okay,
So as soon as we have that,
but we're making progress.
we're moving along.
All right, that's always good to know. Okay, Bucky's Corner. Any news on that?
I believe Jane and Kathy are looking into other options.
Yes, and we met and kind of went through the books and stuff that you're given us online. And, you know, there were some options, but maybe we need to get together with them and then just kind of bring them here next time or something.
Absolutely. Okay, we'll set that up.
Yeah, we went through the both websites, the
Yeah.
Brookstone, whatever, the two, and
Yeah.
the other one, the 2 names you gave us.
Yeah.
And we looked at what we thought would work.
Yeah.
You know, I know there's a lot of emotional attachment to Bucky's Corner being exactly the way it is. So we've thought about the option of maybe the area in front, 2 big wooden chairs, maybe make that a cozy corner with more of the cozy type seating, so that then we can still do the tables, or even swapping and doing the tables there, and just options that may work that will bring forward.
Let's meet, we'll look at it, because I know those chairs that are in that corner, those 2 are very hard to get out of, and they're very deep chairs.
Yeah.
So they're not very
Yeah, and
functional.
there's that long table, if we
Yeah.
can swap it out for a smaller round table, we could fit more cozy and do single chairs, because a love seat isn't comfortable sitting with 2 people, you know what I mean? And see about maybe, you know, as an option.
Okay. All right. Programming for the added evening hours.
So I have it on later on under events and programs,
Okay.
but we can talk about it now too, because we do have some great stuff coming up. August 4th, we have cooking for 1 class, and they're gonna do a summer orzo salad. So basically, you'll sign up, you come, and they teach you how to make this healthy, nutritious salad, and then you get the ingredients to bring home with you to make it yourself at home. So, and this is something I'm hoping to continue doing for a few months, just to give individuals who maybe you live alone and you're sick of having cheese and crackers for supper. Something quick, easy, simple to make, and like I said, it's even nicer when you take the ingredients home and can just put it together and make it yourself. So that's on August 4th. On August 11th, we have Close Encounters, which is, yes, all about the aliens. So that is at 5 o'clock, and it's, this gentleman, I believe his name's Chris, is an expert on the topic. So it's all about
I'm
aliens.
sorry, what?
Aliens?
Okay, did I hear that correctly? Okay.
Yes, as in other planets.
I might have to just to get a look at this guy.
Yeah. There you go. So that'll be fun. August 18th, we have Mandy. She's the henna lady. She's going to come and do henna designs on anybody who wants to come. And it's so funny that, when people, they're like, oh, I don't want to do that. And then everybody who gets it done, somebody sees them, so they come in. And it's, the last time I had Mandy, we had 40 people got henna designs on their hands. So it was a lot of fun.
Is that like tattoos?
It kind of is. It's like an Indian dye, and and they painted on, there's actually,
It's not permanent.
it's, you know, it
fades
does fade off.
It fades away, it's
We're gonna
awesome.
tattoo everyone.
Yeah.
Turn into a tattoo parlor here?
Yes.
It's
A lot of
very,
changes going on here.
it's beautiful. It's
So,
beautiful.
this is just a picture of
Yeah.
a design. So, it's like a paste,
Yeah.
and then the paste dries and flakes off, and it's almost like an orange color, and then it darkens. And it lasts about a week or two, maybe.
Oh,
Yeah,
It's really beautiful.
yeah. So, that is coming on the 18th. And then starting in September, we're gonna have a 6-week course. It's gonna go through October, I think, 20th. And it's on healing herbs. And Jeff Cote actually studied Chinese medicine in China for a couple of years, and is very well studied in herbs. So, and you know, here's herbs being used for different things. That's August. Yeah.
What day? Is it on Monday?
No, he's in September.
Oh, okay.
September. But you'll be signing up in August for the 6-week
Yeah, yeah.
course. Yeah. So, and it's, you know, even things like turmeric. People will take turmeric in a powder, but it doesn't really work well as a powder. It needs to be into an oil. So it's better to cook with it. But just what the benefits are of these herbs, what herbs do what, and how to best utilize them. So that's going to be a 6-week course on that.
So that'll be Monday nights, starting in
Yes.
September?
Yep, 4 to 6. Great. So, and then, did you want me to stop there for Mondays?
Sure.
Okay.
Okay, I do not have an update for the master plan, but we are meeting tomorrow night. I wasn't gonna be able to be there because of the surgery, but now I can.
Going back to the schedule, I was just looking at something, my book of wishes.
Yes, so, I can tell you now. So there's, Candace Shira wrote this book, My Book of Wishes. Her dad used to come here, Jim. And she lives in Shirley, and she wrote this book because when she started caring for her dad, she didn't know where insurance policies were, or his health insurance cards, or the pets, who's the vet, who, you know, so she actually wrote this book, and you can actually fill it in, passwords. There's just all this information, financials, and all of it. So she is going to come do a talk on this book. There are other books available as well, but it's things you should know that you didn't think of and you didn't know you needed to know. So it's the ultimate end-of-life planner and organizer, but it's good for caregivers as well, or even individuals who have a loved one who has a recent dementia, Alzheimer's diagnosis, to be able to get this information in a place where it's all at your hands. Even, like I said, I just opened to military service. You know, just getting benefits for my mom, I need to know when my dad's military service was, the actual day and year. And like I said, to have that information all together is a huge benefit. So that is actually in August on
The 19th.
the 19th at 10 a.m. Yes.
Did we dissolve the same procedures?
Yeah, Olivia's working on just the rules, regs, and the application form. So that's all set.
It's a conversation among men. We're dull as all heck.
Jim, were you in on this?
I'll wait for him to finish.
No, Jim, go ahead, you're jumping, I'm on my head now, but
Yeah, we were talking about how dull we are.
Yes.
No, I was never talking about that.
Yes.
You missed Tuesday.
Are you volunteering?
No. But I know somebody who would absolutely, he meets all the qualifications. He's a politician.
Is Lou volunteering? Or is he being nominated?
The Delman Group.
Oh.
The Dumbest.
The Delmas.
the Dolmans.
Yes.
Yeah.
Once a month, 1 hour.
I'm honored to be nominated. whatever topic you want to come and discuss, right?
That kind of whatever, but you're the historian of the group. You know dates like you wouldn't believe. You know, Jay and I are watching the Addams series, and I'm saying, I bet you Bruce watched this 4 or 5 times. And he knows all this stuff.
4 or 5 dozen.
Or, yeah, it doesn't or something.
Right, yeah, it could be close to a dozen. There are, I will not do any spoiler alerts, there are some objectionable historical things that are presented in there that rub me the wrong way. But overall, it's beautifully done, and, Paul Giamatti is John Adams to me. That's what I picture John Adams being.
Yes.
So, and Laura Linney is that, that's Abigail Adams.
The first real feminist you've seen that goes back that way. But anyway.
So are we going to
you are the man
start
for all
in
this.
September?
Yeah, let us develop this.
Okay. We can ask the guys on Tuesday.
All right.
Okay.
All right, some topics.
And let me know, because I'm working on September's newsletter now.
Okay.
Yeah.
This would be awesome.
Yeah.
Would you like to join us?
Yeah. So, just bring like whatever topic.
That's, yeah.
And so just enough, it's interesting, we're gonna show up because women are allowed to show up, right?
They can, as long as they're not too excited.
I can hold it back. I can hold it back. I can hold it back.
That would be wonderful. Thank you guys so much.
Right. I've been waiting for this.
I know, me too.
Right, don't be deterred by the title.
Yes.
The men that do this are not dull at all. It's a derivation, it came from Britain, right?
Yeah.
It came from Britain, and they
Yes.
called them dull, but they're not dull at all. All right, that's awesome. Anything else?
I just wanted to let everyone know that tomorrow we have our new Qigong instructor. Dave Crocker has stepped back from Qigong, so we have our new instructor tomorrow here at the center at 3:30. Thursday, we have our new grief support group, Life After Loss, and that's going to be run by Bobby Gerard of Beacon Hospice, so that'll be here as well. The Gloucester Harbor Cruise is on July 23rd, and we do have on July 30th the concert in the pavilion with Steve Fiedler. And Steve's local from Leominster, and he does great sing-along music. Also, I just want to let everyone, don't forget our monthly events, our Veterans Breakfast, our Friendly Seniors, Coffee with the Police Chief, Book Club, Memory Cafe. And the Memory Cafe is the last Friday of every month, and it's for anyone who has any cognitive deficiencies that can come here with their loved ones. There's entertainment, there's food, and it's a great time to get together in a very safe, comfortable environment. And then on Mondays, we do have afternoon movies, and we have fresh popcorn and refreshments in there as well. And then some of the things that are coming up in August, on August 1st, we have Diamond Dots. I know you've all seen that with the dots on the pictures. And some people wanted to try it without buying the $10, $20 kit first. So we're going to do Diamond Dots. We have the Cooking for One class. We have Aging Gracefully with Dominic from UMass Memorial. We have on Friday in August, we're going to do a vets only breakfast for all of our vets, and we invited some special individuals to meet with them. As we said, we have the Close Encounters with the Aliens. On August 13th, we have Linda from the Assessor's Office is going to do an overview of all senior tax exemptions. So Kayla, I invite you definitely to some of these as well. With Henna Design on the 18th, the Book of Wishes on the 19th, the summer concert with the Sunshine Boys is on August 20th. And then coming up in September, we have a grandparents luncheon because the kids are back to school, so we're going to treat the grandparents. We have a caregiver resource connection, and we have the healing herbs. So those are just some things that are coming up.
Can I ask you a couple questions?
Yeah.
The Harbor Cruise, how many signups do you have?
Right now we have 9,
9?
but we're also in with Pepperell, so we don't have to fill the bus. At times,
So is the 9 just from Lunenburg?
yep, and they'll pick up here. in
Oh,
Lunenburg.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Because there was a cost associated with that, right?
oh yeah,
Yeah, I remember seeing those, just curious,
So-
how much engagement we would have at based on.
yeah. So Pauline and I have teamed up with Best of Times Travels. They do a lot of day trips, and it's good for us because we sign you up right online, sign up right through them. If we have a certain number, they pick up here in Lunenburg, and we've teamed up with local towns around here so that we're not going from here to Danvers to pick up people. We're picking up, the bus is going to be local individuals who pick up and go and come back. There's also, in November, we're doing Queen. So we're going to go see Queen concert. I believe that's at like the Newport Playhouse or somewhere. And lunch is included, and dessert, and things like that. So there's different trips we can do with them, but they also do long trips. And we're looking to, over the next year, get in some of the longer trips. Trips that I've done in the past was Amish country, we've done a dozen times. Montana, we went to Montana, Canada, Niagara Falls, Bermuda cruise. So there's a lot of trips that we can offer, and the longer trips, if there's even 2 people, they will pick you up and bring you down to the boat or to the airport. So like I said, it's something that there hasn't been a lot of here in Lunenburg, but we're looking at adding these trips.
The other one that I had a question was aging gracefully. What is that?
So Dominic he is the, what is his title? Oh, it doesn't say here. He is like the injury prevention person for UMass Memorial, and he's going to come do a talk on, what you need to know as far as aging and things you can do to prevent falls or, any health risks. So it's almost like a risk assessment that you'll fill out a form too, and he'll talk about the different ways that you can stay healthy, aging gracefully, and safe.
What day is that?
That is August 5th.
Thank you. That's all.
May I say something about the Memory Cafe? Last month we had new people, which was really nice. And I just wanted to put it out there for anybody in the community that knows somebody that might like to come. It's a nice social time, and we always have like music. And the nice part about it is that the caregivers have gotten to know each other, and so it's very social for them too. So if there's anybody that would like to join, please just come on a Friday, last Friday of the month.
And just knowing it's a safe environment. If you have an individual you care for that may not always act appropriately in a social setting, this is the place that it's safe to bring them if you have concerns, because it's not a problem.
And music,
They
It's
love it.
everybody.
I love when we have a dancer.
Yeah, there's always, we've had
We've had a couple of dancers and they tickle me.
They just float around.
And it's just, they're all living their best lives. It's wonderful.
and it's a nice break from being at home with your caregiver too.
Right.
It's
a nice
great,
time off.
it's great relief for the caregivers because you can feel so isolated when you're a primary caregiver.
Thank you. So out there in TV land, remember that if you're a caregiver.
Can I add one more thing?
Of course.
We are looking for backup Meals on Wheels drivers. So if anybody wants to be on our list, that if somebody calls out, somebody's on vacation, or anything like that, we are looking for backup Meals on Wheels drivers. And we also could use another driver on Thursdays. So if you're so inclined, Thursday would be once a week for an hour. So, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Those sound wonderful. All right, Eagle House Supporters Report.
I have nothing to report this time.
Well, you've been busy, so
Yes.
that's fine. Good, thank you for being here.
Hats. Us people like to wear hats. This, stuff. There are no Lunenburg hats. No, last we bought was up in Lunenburg, Nova Scotia. Why wouldn't we sell them? The supporters sell hats.
The Alumni Association is starting to put out some hats, but
Who is that? What's the-
the Alumni
Alumni.
Association. But, you know, not everybody in Lunenburg is a Lunenburg High School alumni.
Yeah,
So here is a perfect opportunity for Lunenburg residents who didn't graduate from LHS.
there you go.
Great idea.
And I think that would, yeah, and raise pride in that
I
town,
think
too.
we don't
We're
have,
one
let
of
me
these
see,
people. We're
how
really-
many people at this table graduated from Lunenburg? See?
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, big opportunity. Thank you for that idea.
Well, just keep wearing the Lunenburg, Nova Scotia. and hopefully nobody-
Just take over, Jack.
I'm done.
All right, great idea. Notes and communications, I read the communications from our two departed members. I shouldn't say departed. I know, that's a bad thing to say. From our two,
Retired.
retired former members.
That's a good name.
That's- Excuse me. All right, I do have a board comment. I don't know how many of you know Fran Therian. If you grew up in Lunenburg and you were a girl, she was your Girl Scout leader. She was a fixture in this community for many, many years, and she is turning 100 on August 29th. So I will be in touch with her, and at the next meeting, or I'll be in touch with Deb too, and we'll find a way to get her into our Century Club. So I will be in touch with you about something for September to add a new Century Club member.
Awesome.
So I'm 99% sure she'll say yes.
Just don't give her a key. Nobody wants the key.
I can't, she doesn't live in Lunenburg.
That's true.
But she was a wonderful citizen of Lunenburg for many, many years. I don't know how many Girl Scouts she had going through the program, but there were in the hundreds for sure. So I'll be reaching out to Fran, celebrating her birthday, August 29th. So I was letting you know about that. So do you have any other final board comments?
Question,
Sure.
and I know this exists because I saw it and looked through it when I was liaison, the board orientation packet.
Yes, you two should be
We
receiving.
can print that out for you.
Okay.
There should be a board orientation packet, something else I want to get. The bylaws are in the packet. Right. Holly, or do you ask Michelle to get them your packets? That slipped my mind, you should have had them for this meeting. Sorry about that.
That's what I read.
Yeah, they're on file.
Okay.
Yes. Thank you.
I may even have the most recent one because I was here when you were all approving it.
But Jack,
Yeah.
you could always grade James, but we want you to have the official ones.
Yeah, okay.
All right.
Because it is the end of the year, we already had our June 30th, I'd love to run statistics. And one of the statistics I ran was check-ins. And from January to June of last year and January to June of this year, we're up 360 check-ins. So that's at the kiosk, people checking in. And then one of the other things I noticed was lunches. So we're up from June to December to January to June, we're up 12 new individuals attending lunches. So the numbers are on the upswing, which is always a great thing.
May I ask, 360 new check-ins, what percentage is that? Like, how many total check-ins were there?
So the reports that I run have just, like this has from January to June of 2025 to June, and this
Well,
is,
yeah,
yeah,
7,100.
and then this is 2024, same time period. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was doing, yeah. That's pretty good. Increase your plan count by 5%, a lot of business would go off that.
Okay, any other board comments? Any other BORD comments? All right, do I hear a motion for adjournment?
So moved.
Oh, wait. Our next meeting is not Tuesday, July 8th. It's the second Tuesday in August, whatever that is. The 12th?
It is the 12th.
The 12th?
Yeah.
The 12th? Okay. So we will see you on August 12th. If you, any of these things that we can help out with or volunteer for are out there in public TV land. If anything struck your fancy, please let us know.
Even if you want to water plants, come water plants.
All right.
Yes.
All right.
Oh, I'm really good at that.
Do I hear a motion for adjournment?
I'll
So
second
moved. Motion for adjournment?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Thank you all for being here.